So let's try something first. Like, I'm going to use the AI na may mong quiz master. I'll try. Okay, let's see. Okay. Oh no, this is not.
Pag-discuss, ipa-discuss mo noon sa ako ng primary.
Okay. What is the primary objective of an audit? Letter A, to detect fraud and errors. Letter B, provide assurance.
Oh no, kadaghan ba? All at once? Can you, oh my God. Can I answer one at a time? My God.
Okay, let's start. What is the primary objective of an audit? Letter A, detect fraud and errors. Letter B, provide assurance on financial statements. Letter C, assist on tax planning. Letter D, improve operational efficiency. So, the answer is very clear. Diba? For me, that's letter B. Let's check if ever that's correct based on the AI. Great, you have selected option B, provide assurance. Oh, okay, so that's correct. Let's move on to the next. What is the concept of materiality in auditing? So, the importance of financial statements to shareholders, the significance of an error or omission in influencing decisions, the accuracy of financial records. This is not materiality. Could be A and B. And the level of detail in audit working papers. No, that's not the concept of materiality. I'll answer B. Next. Okay. Okay. Let's select challenging questions. Okay. In auditing, what is the difference between substantive procedures and tests of control? Substantive procedures focus on the effectiveness of internal controls, while tests of controls focus on the accuracy of financial records. This is not. Baliktad. Substantial procedures are performed on transactional data, while tests of controls are performed on account balances. Hindi sad. This is not. Puro man substantive test. Substantive procedures are used to obtain audit evidence on specific financial statement assertions, while tests of controls are used to evaluate the operating effectiveness of internal controls. Can be. Substantive procedures are performed by the internal audit team. No. While tests of controls are performed. No, 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 no. So the correct answer for me is letter C. Next. Excellent.
So, mo na to yung challenging?
Okay. More questions pa. Yes. Let's move on to the next question. Go. Internal audit is different from external audit because internal audit is conducted by external auditors. Anong kalokohan to? Internal audit focuses on compliance with laws and regulations. No. Internal audit is mandatory for publicly traded companies. No, 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 no. External audit noon. Internal audit is independent and objective. Different gani. Internal audit is conducted by external auditors, no? Internal audit focuses on compliance with laws and regulations, maybe. Internal audit is mandatory. No, external audit is mandatory for publicly traded companies. So, internal audit is independent and objective. It is not as independent as the external audit. It depends on where the internal auditors will report, diba? So if they will report in the audit committee, then they will be independent. But again, not as much as independent as the external auditors or external audit. So I'm gonna choose B.
Oh no. Hindi.
Okay. So wrong ko dito. Huh? Let's just accept that so that we can proceed. So independence in auditing refers to the auditor's ability to perform non-audit services for the client, no? The auditor's financial interest in the client's business, no? The auditor's impartiality and lack of bias. It could be objectivity, but it could also be independence. The auditor's expertise and knowledge in the auditing standards refers to competence. So the purpose that I'm doing this is for two reasons. The first one is to check if ever an AI can really help you in your studies, and of course to assess whether the AI is really good in answering auditing questions. So sometimes, if ever, as I have experienced, this particular artificial intelligence is good for theoretical questions, but it's bad in computational problems, especially in accounting. Okay, let's move on to the next question. Audit evidence is important in an audit evidence is important in an audit engagement because it supports the auditor's opinion on the financial statements, yes, but never answer without reading all the options first. Demonstrates the efficiency of internal controls. Nope. Provides recommendation for improving financial processes. This is the secondary objective. Helps in the selection of audit procedures. No, audit evidence is already the result of the audit procedures. So it comes after the selection of audit procedures and testing. Okay, so I'm gonna have to answer letter A. Can I have super challenging questions? Okay, so that's number 7. In auditing, what is the difference between sampling risk and non-sampling risk? So sampling risk is the risk that the sample selected for testing is not a representative of the population. That's right. While some non-sampling risk is the risk of reaching an incorrect conclusion regardless of the sample. This is correct. But again, you need to read all of the options first. Sample risk is the risk of incorrectly accepting a population value based on sample results. Okay, while non-sampling risk is the risk of selecting an inappropriate sample size. No, 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 no. That is not it. Sampling risk is the risk of concluding that the control activities are ineffective when they are not. That's control risk. While non-sampling risk is the risk of material misstatement in the financial statements. Nope. Audit risk. This is audit risk. Um, Sampling risk is the risk of not detecting a material misstatement in the financial statements, while detection risk mana, while non-sampling risk is the risk of relying on inappropriate audit procedures. What? Still, it's detection risk. Okay, so let's stick with letter A. Okay. Mm-mm. Can you go to the next question? Analytical procedures in audit are used to identify control weaknesses. Nope. Detect fraud and errors. Evaluate the reasonableness of financial information. This is not it. The A and B. Assess the adequacy of no. Reasonableness of the financial information and testing if ever the relationship of the accounts is plausible or there is a predictable relationship, because if it is unpredictable it will be subjected to analytical procedures. So the answer here is C. Hmm. Is this really thinking? Okay. Okay. The primary purpose of an external audit committee in corporate governance external is to prepare the financial statements for the organization. No. Review and approve the auditor's fee part, but it doesn't include everything that the external audit committee has. Uh, it does not include everything the external audit committees. Um, it can. I don't know how to express it. It's not just that. The external audit committee's responsibility is broader than that, than the reviewing and approving of the auditor's fee. Ensure the compliance with accounting standards, maybe. Oversee the financial reporting process and internal control system. That's more like it. That's letter D for me. Okay. So this is nice because if you selected the wrong answer, there is an explanation. Okay. The audit report is the auditor's communication of the company's financial performance to shareholders, the auditor's opinion on the fairness of the financial statements. Of course, that's the correct answer, but let's read all. The recommendations for improving internal controls, the results of forensic audit procedures. The answer there is B. Okay. Next.
No, don't do that one by one.
What is the purpose of risk assessment in audit process? To identify areas where fraud is likely to occur, to determine the appropriate audit procedures to be performed, to evaluate the design and the operating effectiveness of internal control. No, no, no. This is not it. Because when we talk about audit, financial statement audit, to assess the overall financial performance, no, 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 not yet. Risk assessment is for audit planning pa, right? So, I don't know. It's A or B. D is not. C is also not the answer to determine the appropriate audit procedures to be performed. A is, again, it's very narrow. It should have included error. So we have B. I'll answer B.
Oh no. Oh no.
Is risk assessment related to test of controls? I don't know. Risk assessment involves identifying risk of material misstatement in the finance. Okay. Yeah. Alright. Let's accept that. Let's move on to the next question. That challenging pa more.
Challenging pa more.
What is the difference between inherent risk, control risk in the context of audit risk assessment? Inherent risk refers to the risk of material misstatement, while control risk refers to the risk of ineffective internal controls. Control risk is correct. The inherent risk here is not. Inherent risk refers to the risk of ineffective internal controls. No, no, no. This is wrong. While the control risk refers to the risk of material misstatement. No. Inherent risk refers to the risk of fraud. No, 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 no. While control risk refers to the risk of errors. No, 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 no. Inherent risk refers to the risk of errors in financial reporting, while control risk refers to the risk of fraud. This is also not true. So this is wrong. This is also wrong. So we have two. So inherent risk in letter B is already wrong. So much wrong. Because the inherent risk here refers to the control risk. The risk of ineffective internal controls is control risk. So that's letter A. Okay. Next question. How does the auditor's independence contribute to the credibility of the audit process? Okay. It ensures the auditor has no conflicts of interest that could impair their objectivity and professional judgment. That's correct. But let's read everything. It provides assurance that the auditor has necessary. This is competence, not independence. It guarantees that the auditor will identify all instances of fraud. No, 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 not all. There's no audit that will identify all instances of fraud and errors. Reasonable assurance is a limitation. So, an audit is never perfect. Okay? It only gives high assurance or reasonable assurance, not absolute assurance. And it could not detect all the fraud and errors in the financial statements. It does not promise to do that. So, it ensures that the auditors full access to all financial records and information. No, no, no. This is availability of information. We have A. Let's answer this as fast as possible. What is the purpose of substantive procedures in an audit engagement? To obtain understanding now, to assess the risk of material misstatement in the financial statements and design appropriate audit procedures. No, substantive procedures is already the procedure itself, not the design pa. You don't have to design already. The substantive procedures are already, how do I say this? The substantive procedures is what should be designed. Okay, not the substantive procedures is the source of designing audit procedures. Actually, substantive procedures is synonymous with the audit procedures already. Although audit procedures is much more generic because it includes audit planning, test of controls, and substantive procedures. Okay. To identify potential instances of fraud illegally. Pwede. Evaluate the adequacy of entities. No, this is not it. Policies and procedures, no. Not A, not D. Not only that is. Oh my god. Not A, not D. For me, it's also not B. So let's have C. Let's just try. Oh no.
Oh no.
I'm wrong again. When is the auditor required to issue an adverse opinion in the financial statements? When the auditor identifies significant deficiencies? No, 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 no. When the auditor is unable to obtain, this is supposed to be disclaimer or qualified opinion. When the auditor discovers instances of fraud and other illegal activities. Could be when the auditor believes that the financial statements are materials misstated and the management refuses. So this is more like it. This letter D. Okay. Next. Okay. What is the purpose of analytical procedures in planning phase 1 audit? Because analytical procedures can be used in the substantive test, but it's just an option and must be used in the completing the audit stage. So here, it pertains to planning phase of an audit. To assess the inherent risk of the audited entity can be to evaluate the efficiency and effectiveness of the entities. This is part of test of controls and analytical procedures normally is not involved in the test of controls phase. To identify potential instances of fraud or errors in the financial statements. To understand the entity's business and identify areas of potential risk and assist in the development. This is more like it. Because in the planning phase, the purpose is really to understand the entity's business, internal control, risk assessment, determining materiality, and making the audit program which is tentative yet. What if I'm wrong? Oh no, I'm not. Next. Uh, what's the difference between a material weakness and a significant deficiency in internal controls? Okay, letter A. Material weakness is a control deficiency that could result in a misstatement of financial statement. That is significant deficiency in internal controls, while significant deficiency is control deficiency. I don't know about this. That is less severe. A material weakness is a control deficiency that is less severe. What? While a significant deficiency in internal control is that could result in a misstatement of financial statements. I don't know about this. A material weakness is a control deficiency related to fraud, while a significant deficiency is related to errors. I guess this is not letter C. I'm going to cross that out. A material weakness and a significant deficiency have the same meaning in the context of internal controls. Can be. I cannot say. If we talk about material weakness, that could result in misstatement of financial statement. We cannot say that the internal controls. Blaze! Oh, letter D. Nag-record ko. Oh no. Oh no. Material weakness is a, oh, basa na to. Unsa to? Is a control deficiency that could result in the misstatement of financial statements that is less severe. Okay. What is the purpose of a management representation letter in an audit engagement? So, to document the management's acknowledgement of its responsibility for the financial statements and internal controls. Yes, yes, manisha. Pero basahon gihapon. Pero you need to read all the multiple choices. To provide assurance that all fraudulent activities have been detected and reported, no. To outline the auditor's recommendations for improving internal controls, no. To establish a legal contract between the auditor and the audited entity. This one is the engagement letter, and this letter C should be found in the auditor's report. Okay, because this is the secondary responsibility of external auditors. So I'm gonna have to answer A. Next. Did I not? Oh no, that's correct. Oh my god. You have shown a strong understanding. Okay, that's it.